What the hell is the backfire?
They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
What's up, y'all? Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Anthony Simmons with Higher Hype Podcast coming at you live one time to let y'all know the topic of the day. That topic is Jalen Rose's sister is coming at him, trying to demean his character, all because he wants to sell a property that is rightfully his. We about to dig into this, y'all, and it's about to get real deep, so I hope you brought your boots. You understand what I'm saying? His sister has got him all broadcast all over the internet right now, trying to tear down his name over something that is rightfully his to do. Before we get into this, I need y'all to do something real quick for me. Go ahead and like and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Also, hashtag Higher Heights in the comments. You already know what it is, trying to get in this algorithm real quick. All right, before I show this video clip, I want to preface all my comments by saying this. In today's world, you never know what is real and unreal, what is factual and unfactual. This issue that I'm discussing today is a family issue, and family issues are always ticky and tricky, and you really shouldn't get involved in other people's family business. But in this case, when the family business is out there for public consumption, then everybody has a right to their opinion, because opinions are like, you know the rest. So with that being said, I heard about this story a day or two ago, but when I first heard it, I kind of just was like, I don't got all the facts, and I don't like giving y'all content without trying to get some background, trying to research a little bit, do my due diligence. And despite how I already felt in my spirit, believers, I had to let everything marinate and develop before I could give y'all this content. So when I show y'all this video, I want to point out a few things that you need to be paying attention to, so that when I give my breakdown and analysis, you understand where I'm coming from. So in this video, I want you to pay attention to how she is acting and how Jalen responds. It's important that we see these things, because a lot of times when we're watching videos, we're looking for what we want to look for, and there are important things that you should pay attention to. How she's acting and how Jalen Rose is responding. Check out the video.
Be healthy, but then I got to keep dealing with this idiot and doing this foolishness. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in there. Don't go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. My mother just died last year, okay? And you bringing strangers all in here, Jalen Rose, to walk to your mother's house that you love so much, that you're trying to sell her house a year after she passed while your sister's still living here in it. And you had the audacity to call me a squatter when I took care of her mother and her grandmother in this house. You got a lot of nerve, Jalen Rose. You got a lot of nerve. And I hope the whole world see how much nerve you got now, and how fake and phony you been, talking about how much love you got to your mother and your family. Mighty funny. The man with the mic ain't got nothing to say today. Ain't that strange? Ain't that strange? How you gonna sell a house somebody live in and been living in for the last 3 years and not communicate? This what this guy is on.
Now, a couple of things about this video. You clearly see her going live, taking advantage of the fact that he is famous. How do I know she's taking advantage of the fact that he is famous? She constantly says his name. Jalen Rose, Jalen Rose, Jalen Rose. How many times do you have to say this man's name? Number two, you're running around yelling and screaming, making threats saying, don't go into my mom's room. This man owns this house, number one. He's a very responsible man, doing most than most brothers are doing today, number two. Let me tell you this. He is in a financial position to be a blessing to his family, and that's exactly what he did. He took care of his grandmother, who died at 103, and he also providing for his mother, who took care of him and birthed him. You are his sister. You are an able body, not disabled. You're able to get up and go get a job and work for yourself. I felt this way a couple of days ago when I saw this story. I thought this was a clear-cut case of a family member who's been leeching and benefiting off somebody else who's financially stable. You feel like he has it and you don't have to work for it. This happens a lot of times when you have a celebrity in the family. They're feeding you, they're feeding you, they're feeding you, they're supplying you. And the minute they say no, you're ready to blast and expose him. We haven't heard any of these things about Jalen Rose ever coming up ever since the Fab 5 days where they tried to throw his name under the bus, of course, with the rest of the teammates. But Jalen Rose keeps his nose clean. He's very professional. He's a successful black man once again doing big things. And the enemy comes from within, somebody who's close to him. We don't hear anything bad about Jalen Rose, but the sister is trying to slander his name. You're constantly saying this man's name. You're running around raving and yelling, like making yourself look bad, trying to make him look bad. I've never understood how somebody would think that they could pressure somebody in or blackmail somebody in to taking care of them. And that's clearly what you're trying to do. I love how Jalen Rose is responding. Why? Because he's not responding. Men, let me tell you this. Men are getting more savvy on how to handle this type of evil, this type of woman coming at them, because it's straight up evil. This man is not being verbally abusive. He's not being physically abusive, and he's not doing anything to you to show any type of aggression level towards you. He's walking through the house, doing what he's got to do. He came there with a purpose to take the real estate agent around and to see the house so that they can go forth in their endeavor to sell the house, and he does not respond. Let me tell y'all, men, we don't win when we run our mouth. We do not win getting emotional with an emotional creature. You cannot win. Men are getting more savvy. Men win when they carry out their visions and their purpose and their action. Men win when they close this and do what they supposed to do. You understand? Talk after. I've accomplished what I tried to do, and then I talk. Jalen Rose not only did not respond to her in the video, but you don't hear him on NBA Today trying to explain himself, trying to resolve the situation. He's not trying to do those things because he's doing nothing wrong. If your sister is an able-bodied, she's not disabled, she can take care of herself, go do so. Your brother does not owe you anything. You want to bring up the fact that you raised him? Cool. You raised him. You've also been living in that house, probably benefiting off the fact that he pays the bills. He takes care of the mom and the grandmom, so there's food in the house. They probably got a vehicle there because you've been there caretaking for the elderly. Cool. But this is pure evil. Let's bring this back to what I'm saying in the word, y'all. This is why a woman needs covering and protecting. She needs protecting from her own emotions. I've said this before. Those emotions are needed in a relationship. The man is the man for a reason. The woman is a woman for a reason. You are emotional. I'm not saying all women are emotional. And I hate to deal with this in the midst of the Malika Andrews situation where her name is all over the internet setting it ablaze because she is setting black women back 20 and 30 years. You know the narrative of the angry black woman, the visible anger that you see in their gestures and their tone when they deal with black men. This is how black women got this title of angry and aggressive. You do not see their counterparts in a professional setting acting that way. But back to Jalen Rose's sister. You do not win in this situation, man, because he has no track record of being this evil person that you're trying to paint him out to be. And all you're doing is trying to pressure him. You know that he's successful. You know that he's on national TV on a daily basis, and you're trying to shame him and embarrass him into letting you stay there. The man clearly wants to sell the house. It's his to sell. And you're trying to use the fact that your mother just died. Well, guess what, ma'am? It doesn't matter if she died yesterday or 10 years ago. If he wants to sell the house, he can. Your points are invalid, and I'm mighty afraid you've lost this case in the court of higher heights. Apologize to your brother. Get up, get your own place, and quit letting the devil use you in relation to trying to drag the only successful person you got in your family down. Y'all be blessed.